Hi everyone, Radhe Radhe. So today we're doing chapter 3, verse 28, and um, it is very confusing to me. As I'll speak, I'll explain what is confusing and whether it might get clearer. I'm not sure right now. I know I'm sounding cryptic. I don't understand what I'm saying myself. Please ignore me. I mean, let's get to the verse. Tattvavit uh, तत्त्ववित्तु महाबाहो गुणकर्मविभागयोः गुणागुणेषु वर्तन्त इति मत्वा न सज्जते. Okay, so Tattvavittu Mahabaho. Okay, the translation. One who is in knowledge of absolute truth, O mighty armed, which is Arjun, does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing well the differences between work and devotion, which is Karma Yoga, and work for fruitive actions, fruitive results, which is Karma Kand. It is really, really nice. Like a few months ago, I didn't know the difference between Karma Kand and Karma Yoga at all, right? Like now it's so easy to articulate and to understand, oh, I'm doing this for the fruitive action, I'm doing this for Karma Yoga. Like it's just really good. And I recently had an understanding about Karma Yoga as well that deepened my understanding of Karma Yoga, which was incredible. Basically not meaning that we don't have desires, because everything that we do is driven by desire. All day long, millions of choices that we're making are driven by desire. We want to have clean hands, so we wash our hands. We want to have dry hands, so we dry our hands. We're hungry, so we eat. We want to, like, all day long we're making choices that are driven by desire for results, right? So it doesn't mean, what I understood from it is, it doesn't mean that we don't have desire for the results, but what it means is that we want the results to be for Krishna. So this is a complete game changer. I don't know if I've already talked about it. I might have talked about it, but this is a complete game changer, right? We're doing whatever we're doing. If we're eating, it's because God also lives in this body. God lives in our heart. Krishna lives in our heart. So if we want to, we want a healthy body so that we can. We want to eat. When we eat, eating is a simple example, because we're offering the food to God first, and we want to offer good healthy food to God, and we don't want to offer bad food to God. And plus we want to be healthy so that we can serve God. So whatever we do, absolutely anything we do, it's just a perspective shift. It's just a perspective shift and understanding that we are doing it for Krishna, and we're not doing it for ourselves. We're not doing it because we need. So it's that same example that I give many times, right? The hand is a part of the body, and the hand serves the body, and the hand gets its joy from serving the body, not from severing itself from the body and doing its own thing because of ego, but from serving the body, and in turn the body nourishes. So it's the same thing. So we get nourished by God, by Krishna, and we surrender to Krishna. And so everything we do for Krishna. That's the Karma Yoga. Okay, so let me go back to this. One who is in knowledge of absolute truth, O mighty armed one, does not engage himself in senses and sense gratification, knowing well the difference between Karma Yoga and Karma Kand. Okay, so Tattvavittu Mahabaho, the knower of absolute truth. Tattvavit, knower of absolute truth. Tu, but Mahabaho, O Arjun. O Arjun. So this translation does not follow directly exactly, but I will do my best to explain. Then Guna Karma Vibhagayoh. Guna Karma, works under material influence. Karma is work, of course, prescribed duty is work. Guna is, I'm not fully sure I understand the meaning of it. He's saying material influence here. And here he says gunas. From gunas, yeah, he doesn't really explain guna and karma here. So here in the translation, he explains gunas in the shape of senses, mind, and others, and other gunas in the shape of objects of perception. So I don't know what gunas mean. vibhagayoha differences. So works under, so guna, guneshu vartanta, senses in sense gratification are being engaged. I'm going to read the whole thing and then I'll explain. Iti matva nasajate, thus thinking never becomes attached. So the knower of the absolute truth, but the knower of the absolute truth, O mighty armed one, never becomes attached, therefore thus never becomes attached. He understands the differences of works under material influence. He understands the differences of guna work, guna karma, and the senses and when the senses and sense gratification are being engaged. This is how I've understood it. This is how I've understood the translation. And so the translation by Swami Mukundanand is different, and I don't quite understand. His thing seems to be very, very convoluted and complicated, which is very opposite. Usually his explanations are so much clearer. O mighty armed Arjun, illumined persons distinguish the soul as distinct from gunas and karmas. That's fine. Like where they distinguish the soul as different from the body, which is what the previous verse had said. They perceive that it is only that the previous word had said that we are not the doers. They perceive that it is only the gunas in the shape of sense, mind, and others that move among the gunas in the shape of objects of perception, and thus they do not get entangled in them. Like this, I don't understand how he came to this translation at all from the verse there. He probably used his common sense to get to here, but yeah, I didn't understand that. So yeah, so when you're free from the ego, then you are free from bodily identification, and you are then able to discern your spiritual identity. And so every activity is the movement of the three gunas. So they say, Jo karai so Hari karai. Hari means God. Whoever does, God does. Whatever happens, God does. Hota kabhi kabir, but people are thinking I'm doing. So God is doing everything, but people think that I'm doing everything. I'm trying to read in order to understand the word guna. Okay. So Chaitanya Charan Prabhu says, in iti matva nasajate means that the person will not become bound. I will not become bound by this. And yeah, so then there is then Chaitanya Charan Prabhu talks about our nature. Our nature, based on our part lives, has certain tendencies, though it can be changed, but there is a default setting. So we work, and he said this in the previous verse as well, that we dovetail our spiritual path to our default setting. We have a default setting, and so our bodies have a default setting, and through the spiritual growth we can mold it a little bit, but we work along with it. We understand the differences between the material and the spiritual, and we work along with our material nature to go on our spiritual path. That's what I understand from this, but I don't understand what they mean by material nature. I don't understand what they mean by gunas. I don't understand what they mean by basically, and how the dovetailing works, what the dovetailing means, and I don't understand how the verse translates to that, because the previous verse clearly said that I am not the doer, the God is the doer, but then Chaitanya Charan Prabhu said that I am the doer because my soul is the one driving it. So even though it's like the wood axe example that he gave, right? So that the axe is the one that's cutting the wood, but the soul is directing it. So he's saying that we are both the doers, and the verse Gita said that I am not the doer, God is the doer. So it's confusing to me, and this one is even more confusing to me. Anyways, I am very, very grateful to be studying this and to uncover all of those things that I'm confused about, uncover. So now I'm from unconscious incompetence, where I don't know what I don't know, to I know what I don't know. That's a great, great, great step to get to. I'm very, very excited about that. Okay. Wish you all a very beautiful day. Radhe Radhe. We'll do chapter 29 tomorrow. Verse 29 tomorrow. Chapter 29. Okay. Bye.